Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to Santa Rosa Week. I'm Jerry Cooey.
I'm Deborah Nelson.
And of course you found us on channel 27, the GCN network, and you can watch us every Saturday from 4:30 until 5. And of course, if you'll go to YouTube and type in Santa Rosa Week, all the previous shows will be there. Deborah, this Pullum property thing just doesn't...
Well, let's announce to viewers that we're all now, it looks like, going to be the proud owners of yet another industrial park.
Right, yeah.
Full of empty land in Santa Rosa County.
Full of empty land.
Full of undeveloped land.
We, you know, as we discussed in earlier show, we have about 2,000 acres of industrial parkland available
in parks
to the county right now. And you know, it just doesn't seem like this thing is going to go away. Now, once again, ladies and gentlemen, and we've discussed this.
They're moving forward.
They're
on buying 92 acres.
92 acres of undeveloped property. One of the things
it's on Avalon Boulevard, just off 87.
South of the interstate.
Yes.
And you know, one of the things that just puts a big question mark in my mind is we want the 45 1-acre developed lots. We want it. We want it. Ms. Anderson is on tape. We want it.
This is the original part of this property that we were told that Santa Rosa County was going to buy.
Right. As recently at the latest Economic Development Summit that the commissioners held.
Economic Development.
Economic Development. Ms. Anderson was adamant about our interest is in the 45 acres. Any of this other property is maybe something we'll talk about down the road.
Well, this is 45 platted lots.
Platted lots.
North of the property that we're now talking about.
Now, this,
also owned by Mr. Bill Pullum, who is South End developer.
Right. And the other thing, and we had discussed this before, but we want to refresh your memory. There's an email from 2006 where Miss Anderson, custodian of records and executive director of Team Santa Rosa, openly discusses in a letter to Mr. Pullum that, look, I've talked with the commissioners.
I have spoken with each one, and they are good to go.
And they're good to go, and
on buying this property.
Right, and we suggest that you don't put any more infrastructure in. And our interest and so all of that's a matter of record, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, at a recent county commission meeting, those emails were entered into the record, which and the concern here is that this decision to buy this very expensive property was crystallized behind the scenes before ever reaching a public meeting, which of course legally it right.
has to be vetted publicly.
And let's take a moment, Deborah. Team Santa Rosa, economic development arm for the county, quasi-governmental entity. As we showed in a previous show, Mr. Danhauser has now acknowledged the fact that their meetings, they're required to have meetings in public. And it can put into jeopardy things that were crystallized, as you said, behind closed doors. Yeah.
Well, if those decisions were arrived at outside of the Sunshine Law, there's it has happened in the past that decisions like that in Florida have had to be revisited.
Exactly.
If they were arrived at illegally. So now it looks like we're going to pay $3.3 million now before the interest on the mortgage. $3.3 million for a property that was in August of 2008, as recently as August 2008, was appraised at $900,000.
Right.
County ordered appraisal.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is important. You follow the bouncing ball here. An appraisal that the county requested in August. Deborah, hold it up. The county asked for this appraisal in August of 2008. Now, ladies and gentlemen, that's not that long ago. The 92 acres in question was valued at $900,000. Okay? Now, I don't know. I know I watch the news. I think you watch the news. Land prices have plummeted. Housing prices have plummeted. On and on and on. Real estate, You know, never a month goes by that it's not down another 10%, another 15%. Yet, now, from August until January the 5th, we are led to believe that this property is now worth $3.1 million.
Well, we did have another appraisal in December of 2008 that was ordered by Mr. Pullum himself. And interestingly enough, that appraisal did arrive at a number of 3.3 million
right.
for 80-some acres in the same area.
But also used adjoining county as comps.
Right. This one compared it to similar properties in places like that, Okaloosa County.
And look, to the viewers, what's important about that is we have, okay, Ms. Anderson and Team Santa Rosa stood up many times. We have an active industrial park in Santa Rosa County, and we've sold lots in there.
So why didn't they use those properties to compare?
Deborah, I think that's a good question that somebody should ask.
Don't forget, we also have 170 acres that is currently empty, just adjacent to the industrial park that we bought two or 3 years ago.
Right, exactly.
That we were supposedly going to use to bring new jobs to the county.
You know, I just hope that you know, some of these things will be looked at. Now, let's get into the commission meeting itself. And ladies and gentlemen, I want you to know, I barely did graduate high school, but I understand math. It was pretty obvious to me that Commissioner Lynchard and Commissioner Williamson were not in favor of this proposal.
The motion passed 3-2.
Right.
Commissioners William and Lynchard voted against it for a variety of reasons, which they gave.
According to the appraisal, the best use for this land is speculation, and I don't believe at this time that we should be speculating on land. I think that we have more pressing needs and concerns that we need to address, and I would like to at least move it to the budget hearing.
We don't have a crystal ball, but we do have a pretty good idea that our budget is going to be tight this coming year. We are having a pre-budget workshop in less than 2 weeks, so I think it would be prudent at the very least to hold off on any purchase of this magnitude until after we have a better handle on where our finances are going to be for 2009-2010 fiscal year. And on the purchase price, the middle one there, the $2.531 million, that is strictly the amortized amount. The purchase price is actually $4.13 million. So we're talking about allocating and spending over $4 million of taxpayers' money at a time when we are going to be faced with what could be severe budget issues going forward. And I think the fiscally prudent and responsible thing to do would be hold off.
And Commissioner Salter and Commissioner Gooden were for it. Now, I contacted Commissioner Cole prior to this meeting, and I laid out the reasons that I felt. And one of the things that he said was, and he certainly doesn't deny what he said to me, because you're going to see a videotape where he says it. He told me that if it was a 3-2 vote, that he was going to vote no, because he was not going to be. He felt that at an expense of that magnitude, that the board should not be split. It should be a 4-1 vote in favor or a 5-0 vote in favor.
I did state that, but I want to remind Mr. Isaacson and Mr. Cooey also followed that up, that I would not be that pivotal vote if we didn't give this good, thorough, complete discussion throughout these meetings. This wasn't going to be a 15-minute meeting and out the door it went. So I want to add that to the comments so you have the whole conversation and not just a part of it. I'm willing to make a vote. I feel like this has been discussed, quite frankly, for years.